So this is part 2 of African cats that I've separated. The first part was lions at nighttime. Now we're going to look at tracking cheetahs, and the third part will be leopards. I've made them shorter so that you can hopefully enjoy. Two of my favorite animals that I've loved seeing in the wild are cheetahs and leopards. And my goal is to hopefully see them on this adventure. And I hope that I can share some of these amazing experiences that I'm hoping to have with you. Who knows what we'll actually get to do on this. We're going to go out on morning drives, evening drive, and hopefully see whatever animals we can see. I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know what to expect. We're hoping to see some cheetahs. There's one that has a collar around it that we can track. Maybe a leopard.
Big head. You can see the balls at the back. That can tell that it's a male.
7 minutes in heaven has a new meaning to me, as we spent 7 minutes with this large male in Kruger Park. Just us and this leopard. It was insane. But to be honest, it wasn't the most scared I was on my Africa trip. That was when I actually ran into baboons. I went to Simonstown to swim with sharks, but I ended up finding baboons and penguins. Oh my. But let's be honest, we're here to see cheetahs. Oh my God, I love you, Henry. The only thing cooler than walking in on one cheetah is walking in on 3 cheetahs. Yeah, that's right. I got to walk in on 3 cheetahs. This is referred to as a coalition. The coalition is often a group of cheetahs that are related in some way. It's often brothers or a father and son combo, and they hang out together and sort of protect each other. You'll notice that the cheetahs are looking in different ways as they're resting. So each one's sort of responsible for that area to protect each other. The fastest land animal is less than probably 15 feet from me. Maybe we'll say 50 feet just to keep everybody happy. But wow, they don't even seem to care about us. I guess they know that we're not here to harm them and we're just observing them. This is an experience that I will always remember. My first time walking in on the 3 cheetahs, they can run upwards of 120 kilometers an hour. And I'm just this close. I'm glad that they weren't interested in us. They have distinctive teardrop markings on their face and solid dots all over their bodies. They are diurnal, meaning that they are active during the day, although sometimes it means they're just sleeping and resting. They are the weakest of the large predators and often lose their prey actually to the stronger predators, like the lions, the leopards, even hyenas. Cheetahs on average live 12 years. Females will only move about 4 kilometers a day, whereas males will actually move upwards of 8 kilometers a day. Approximately 10,000 years ago, there were only a few hundred cheetahs, creating this giant bottleneck of genetically similar cheetahs. So nowadays what they do is they'll actually have cheetahs from one reserve get shipped to another reserve so that they can keep them from inbreeding.
Yeah, the one on the right.
The one on the right, yeah.
Zulu, the one behind is Natal, and the one on the left is... Yeah, that's Zulu, the dominant one that just flipped over.
And I just got that on video. It's not just cheetahs that need a break in the bush. Humans do too. So what we do is we stop often for Pooza at least once a trip, where we get to have all these snacks and enjoy. Remember, what goes in must come out.
Cheetah.
So Henry pointed out a couple cool things to me. This is where the coalition cheetahs like to hang out. You can see evidence of poop. Even more poop. This is a little bit older. And this is freshy. The male coalition likes to hang out by this cheetah mound. And you can tell that by how much poop is here, and even seeing the scratch marks by the poop, showing you how and what they do when they do their business. And you can see it compared to a golf ball again. Telemetry. This is the art of using a radio collar to track cheetahs. This is what they originally looked like. But nowadays they've changed quite a bit. And so how telemetry works is you stand with the T-limb and you spin it around in hopes of finding a radio signal that is being transmitted from the collar that the animal is wearing. So in this case, we're looking for the female cheetah, and we're going to spin this around. It can be done from really high ground like Beacon Rock, or it can just be done from the vehicle. And you hold it up, and as you get closer, you start to get more beeps. And if you get really lucky, you actually get to see the female cheetah. This is our first encounter with the female cheetah. Female cheetahs live solitary lives except when they mate, and they aren't territorial, whereas the males sometimes live in coalitions. That's groups of 2 to 4. And they are territorial during breeding seasons. We had been tracking this cheetah most of the drive and weren't having much luck. And then we realized it's because she was on the move so much. What I really like about this footage here is you can see just how well the cheetah blends in. Although you know that there's a cat there, it moves slowly, and those dots help hide it so well. I keep losing it every once in a while. Are you able to follow it as it walks through the bush?
I still have her.
It's only really walking and moving so much today because it was a little bit cooler, and it's
She just turned
probably
left now.
trying to hunt and find some food. But she was quickly gone. And then we found her another day as she walked out into an opening by a river. And even though she stands out on the sand, she still kind of blends in depending on the angle that you're looking at her. This was an amazing spot from Harry, one of the guys on the trip, as she had darted behind us and then vanished. And he had happened to look down the embankment and saw her on the other side. Man, getting to see her from above was kind of cool. No, it wasn't from a hot air balloon like when I saw my first leopard. One of the differences, cheetahs have a smaller head than a leopard. Here you can see a cheetah's skull, the top view and the bottom view of the skull. When an animal gets brought from one park to another, it gets put into a boma. This is the original boma, and this one held the cheetah that we were tracking. There's actually 2 bomas that have been built at Karangwe. This is the other one. This is the newer one, and it looks a little bit bigger than the first one, but this is where the animal gets put to make sure that it climatizes to the area. Unfortunately, sometimes elephants will come through and break the fence, and then it has to get repaired. This is a repair that happened while we were there. We just missed it happening. An hour after we went to visit the female cheetah that was in this boma, the elephants went through and made a second hole. That must have been very scary for this cheetah. But she'll be released from here in a little bit. We got to walk in on the original female cheetah, and she was laying on a termite nest. Not there. She ran off. We were lucky that we were able to find her again and walk in on her a second time. Wait, is there a cheetah here? Can you see the cheetah? That's how well a cheetah can camouflage if it's not moving. Don't worry, I promise you, there's a cheetah in this video. Yeah. Do you see her? And you can see the collar pretty nicely in this video. It's similar to your dog collar or cat collar if you have one of those. And it just sends a radio signal. But what's different between the men or the male cheetahs and the female cheetah is she has to be more observant. Her head's always on a swivel, always moving and observing what's around her. On this second day, we saw her resting in a different spot on the riverbank. It was odd because most of the time a cheetah lays on high ground so that they can see far. But this cheetah seemed to pick a low ground that was cold. And maybe it meant that the other animals might not expect her to be there or come after her. So she just laid down and chilled in this riverbank for most of the morning. Again, she didn't rest and not pay attention to her surroundings. She's always aware of her surroundings. But she picked this spot to help her hide, we think. One of the other differences between cheetahs and leopards, other than their heads, is that cheetahs are a lot longer and faster than leopards, and they don't really climb trees. One of the easiest visuals is that cheetahs have dots, where leopards have rosettes. Have you ever noticed the difference in their spots and rosettes? Getting to walk in on 3 cheetahs, that was an experience that I'll never forget. And the leopards that we got to see, well, thank you for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, keep enjoying wildlife.